On May 11, 1998, high-level analysts at the CIA's headquarters in Langley, Virginia, were caught completely off guard. Alarms were sounding, but they weren't coming from their surveillance feeds. They were coming from seismic sensors. This was a massive failure for the American intelligence community. The United States possessed the most advanced surveillance network on the planet, yet they had completely missed the build-up to this moment. The source of the shockwaves was the Rajasthan desert, where the ground had just fractured under the weight of a successful nuclear detonation. India had done more than just achieve a scientific breakthrough. They had executed one of the most stunning operational coups of the late 20th century. To find the roots of this decision, we have to look back at the early 1990s. At the time, India was grappling with a sense of deep regional isolation. New Delhi faced a dual threat: an established nuclear power in China and a rapidly advancing nuclear program in Pakistan. India was trapped. A test would trigger global economic sanctions, but remaining inactive left their security permanently compromised. When Atal Bihari Vajpayee became prime minister, he viewed an independent nuclear deterrent as a non-negotiable requirement for India's survival. Vajpayee realized that if they were to act, they had to achieve total secrecy. Any hint of their intentions would invite preemptive international pressure to stop the tests. Under the name Operation Shakti, Vajpayee authorized the mission with a strict directive. The circle of people who knew had to be kept to a bare minimum. He chose two masterminds to lead the team: Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Dr. R. Chidambaram. Their primary obstacle was the location itself. The 1974 Pokhran test site was under constant, scheduled surveillance by billion-dollar CIA spy satellites. Bypassing this level of technological oversight was not a matter of superior hardware. It relied on a rigid protocol of human discipline. The first rule of the operation was that every piece of heavy equipment was moved across the desert only under the cover of total darkness. The team meticulously calculated the orbital trajectories and blind spots of the CIA satellites, timing every surface movement to the minutes when the cameras were looking elsewhere. To further confuse analysts, the scientists worked in standard military fatigues. If a satellite did capture an image, it looked like a routine troop movement rather than a high-stakes scientific operation. By utilizing the pre-existing 1974 test site, the team made their digging and construction appear to satellite lenses as mundane base maintenance. On May 11, 1998, after years of covert preparation, the button was finally pressed. 3 devices detonated in that first round, followed by 2 more tests on May 13th. These low-tech, disciplined maneuvers allowed a developing nation to completely blind the world's most advanced superpower. The news triggered a wave of institutional embarrassment across Washington. A massive intelligence apparatus was bypassed by a team using calculators and camouflage. The international retaliation was swift. Western powers immediately imposed harsh economic sanctions, cutting off foreign aid and restricting access to global technology. These measures were intended to financially isolate India, serving as a warning to any other state attempting to challenge the global nuclear order. But Prime Minister Vajpayee faced the international community without hesitating, showing no intent to reverse the decision under the threat of isolation. He declared that India was now a nuclear weapons state, framing the deterrent as a non-negotiable requirement for national security. While analysts predicted a collapse, India's domestic markets remained stable and growth continued. Within years, many of the same nations that imposed the sanctions began seeking new strategic and trade partnerships with New Delhi. The legacy of Pokhran-II was the demonstration of Indian self-reliance. By acting with total independence, the country forced a global reassessment of where power actually resided in the 21st century.